From Kern Government Television, welcome to this week's Kern County Board of Supervisors meeting, originating from the County Administrative Center located at 1115 Truxtun Avenue, Bakersfield, California. Kern County's vision is to create and maintain a customer-centered county government designed to garner the confidence, support, and trust of the people we serve. Today's Kern County Board of Supervisors meeting will convene momentarily.
Board to reconvene. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Supervisor Gleason.
Here.
Supervisor Scribner.
Here.
Supervisor Maggard.
Here.
Supervisor Couch.
Here.
Supervisor Perez.
Here.
Thank you, and welcome to the Tuesday, September 26, 2017 meeting of the Kern County Board of Supervisors. We're going to begin today's meeting with our flag salute, and that will be led by Jim Hammond with the 1965 Bakersfield College Choir Alumni Board. And if you could all remain standing after the pledge for a moment of prayer, silence, or meditation, whichever you prefer.
Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, and liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Please be seated. Okay, if you'd like to follow along with our agenda this morning, the agendas are printed and available at the tables by the exits. We're going to begin with our consent agenda. All items listed with a CA above the item are considered to be routine and non-controversial by county staff. Consent items will be considered first and may be approved by one motion. If a member of the audience wishes to comment or ask questions regarding an item or items on the consent agenda, they may do so prior to a vote being taken on the consent agenda. A member of the board may remove any item from the consent agenda, and it will be considered in listed sequence with an opportunity for any member of the public to address the board concerning the item before action is taken. So at this time, I will read the consent agenda items. Starting on page 2, item 3 is on consent, as well as 6 and 9. On page 3, items 10 through 12 are on consent, as well as 14 through 17. On page 4, item 18, as well as 20 through 25 are on consent. On page 5, items 26 through 31 are on consent. However, item 29 is going to be withdrawn by the department and will not be considered. Do any members of the audience have any questions or comments on the consent agenda? Okay, seeing none, I'll return to the board. I want to read into the record that I'm going to abstain from, recuse myself from item 27 because a source of income, possible source of income to my spouse, and so I will vote on the entire consent agenda, but not on item 27. I'll ask if there are any board members that would like to pull an item, or I'd request a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Motion on consent.
Second.
Please cast your votes.
Excuse me, motion is approved, all ayes.
Thank you. And now that will take us back to page 2 on our agenda. This item is under resolutions and proclamations. This will proclaim October 2017 as Domestic Violence Awareness Month in Kern County, and Supervisor Perez will make this presentation.
Thank you, Chairman. Motion on proclamation.
You have a motion and a second. Please cast your votes.
Thank you.
Motion is approved, all ayes.
Thank you. Good to meet you. Welcome. Good morning, Chairman Scribner and fellow board members. Today, we proclaim October 2017 as Domestic Violence Awareness Month in Kern County. Domestic violence affects people from all walks of life. Women, men, and children of all racial, ethnic, cultural, religious, and socioeconomic groups. In the United States, 1 in 3 women and 1 in 4 men have been physically abused by an intimate partner. Domestic violence affects survivors' livelihoods as well as the economy. Survivors of domestic violence lose a total of 8 million days of paid work each year. The damaging effects of domestic violence know no bounds. Here in Kern County, we are fortunate to have the Alliance Against Family Violence and Sexual Assault providing resources to victims. In the past year alone, Alliance has provided services to over 1,700 survivors of domestic violence. Services include help with filing restraining orders, housing, counseling, and support groups. Putting an end to domestic violence cannot be achieved alone. We must work together to support victims and their families by continuing to condemn domestic violence, raise awareness about what it is and how to prevent it, and of course, connecting survivors with services available. On behalf of the Kern County Board of Supervisors, I would like to thank the Alliance Against Family Violence and Sexual Assault for the work they do every day and their commitment to helping one of the most vulnerable populations in Kern County and beyond. Chairman and members of the board, I am deeply honored to join you today as we proclaim October 2017 as Domestic Violence Awareness Month in Kern County. The Board of Supervisors, County of Kern, State of California, has officially proclaimed October 2017 as Domestic Violence Awareness Month in Kern County, and this recognition has been entered into the official board minutes and signed by our Honorable Chairman, Mr. Zach Scrivener. Is it Gia Murillo? Excellent. Welcome.
Thank you, Supervisor.
Thank you for the work you do. The floor is yours.
Thank you. Good morning, Chairman Scrivener and Supervisors Gleason, Maggard, Couch, and Perez. My name is Gia Murillo, and I am the Prevention Education Supervisor at the Alliance Against Family Violence and Sexual Assault. The Alliance's mission is to stop domestic violence and sexual assault in Kern County and assist survivors in reclaiming their lives. The Alliance has provided crisis intervention, shelter, and supportive services to victims of domestic violence in Kern County for 38 years. In the last year, the Alliance has provided counseling, case management, and other supportive services for 1,701 victims of domestic violence, shelter, short-term emergency, and long-term transitional housing for 237 individuals, as well as providing 36 community prevention education trainings to 2,630 participants in the community. Domestic Violence Awareness Month celebrates its 30th year this year and seeks to mourn victims, celebrate survivors, and connect those working to end violence. On behalf of the Alliance Against Family Violence and Sexual Assault's Board of Directors, Chief Executive Officer Louis Gill, staff and volunteers, and those we serve, domestic violence survivors, I'd like to thank the Kern County Board of Supervisors for your continuing support of the Alliance in generating community awareness about domestic violence and proclaiming October as Domestic Violence Awareness Month in Kern County. Thank you.
Gia. Okay, very good. With us this morning, of course, is the beloved Louis Gill. We're going to get a picture with the resolution. Workforce training. Very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
There you are. Thank you so much. See you soon. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you, Supervisor Perez. The next item on the agenda, item number 2, is to proclaim October 8th, 2017 as the day of the 1965 Bakersfield College European Tour Choir and celebrating the 52nd anniversary and cultural contributions to Kern County, and Supervisor Maggard will make this presentation.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Please cast your votes.
Motion is approved. All ayes.
Yes, I am. Marilyn wants to be.
Nice to have you with us today. Jim. Jim. Ron.
Joyce.
Hi, Joyce. Colleagues, on occasion we get to celebrate something that is unique in our community and something that's fun, and this
as an opportunity for us to celebrate something that happened 52 years ago. In 1965, 48 young men and women from the Bakersfield College Choir went to Europe for an international choir competition. And they became the first ever American team to win the European competition. Some unique things happened on that trip. I've never been on a choir trip, I must tell you, but there were 5 of the 48 young men and women, 5 couples came out of that and became married. So there's magic in the air apparently on choir trips. There was more magic in the air because they were asked to sing for Pope Paul VI on this trip. That would be an interesting and intimidating to me anyway, particularly somebody who can't sing very well, but at his papal summer residence. And then they were asked to go, this kind of just kept burgeoning into more and more things. They went to the Westminster Abbey, and on the way home, they got back to the States, and somehow President Johnson, Lyndon Johnson, somebody worked out for them to be able to go and sing before him in the Rose Garden at the White House. So quite a trip for these young kids on their trip. Well, when they came back, 3,000 people showed up at the airport to greet them. And it's just an interesting story with lots of things that happened. And Marilyn Wilson is going to come up, and I'm going to present her with this. I was told you're the
Yes, I guess.
ex officio person to the proclamation recipient. So, Marilyn, this is from the Board of Supervisors proclaiming that on October 8, 2017, that day will be the day of the 1965 Bakersfield College European Tour Choir, celebrating your 52nd anniversary. I guess you're going to have some kind of a get-together about that. And this recognition has been entered into our official minutes, evidenced by the signature of our Chairman, the Honorable Zach Scrivener, on this, the 26th day of September 2017. Congratulations to you and your group. You've heard this before in 52 years, I suspect.
Yes, I believe so.
But enjoy your time. It's fun to celebrate some neat things that have happened, and those were certainly some fun days for Bakersfield College.
Right.
When 3,000 people would show up at the airport and the stadium would fill up. It was a different era then, but it's fun that you could do that. Would you like to say anything?
Sure, I would. Thank you. Well, I'd like to thank all the Board of Supervisors for proclaiming and giving this proclamation to the 1965 Bakersfield College European Tour Choir. Since then, that he was explaining about our trip, our tour, it was actually a singing tour through 9 countries in Europe. And during that time, we raised $54,000 in a 2-year span to go on this trip. Equivalent to that today would be about $500,000. The choir was made up of many people from different cities in Kern County: Bakersfield, Shaefer, Delano, Wasco, China Lake. The community, these communities really helped us in supporting us, in raising money. We worked hard for that money. And it was under the inspiration of our director and his wife, Joseph and Melinda Husty, that we could actually accomplish this. Jump forward 50-plus years, and we came back for our 50th reunion. And shortly after that, we decided we wanted to start a foundation to give back to the community for the purpose of raising money for scholarships for those high school students and BC choir students pursuing the choral arts. And our purpose statement for the foundation is to preserve and share the history, integrity, and legacy of the 1965 Bakersfield College European Tour Choir Alumni Association, and to promote excellence in the choral arts. As in 1965, we jumped in head first, this time raising $40,000 to professionally produce a documentary of our historical experience. This documentary, called One Heart, One Voice, tells our inspiring story, and the money raised will help to provide those scholarships for those students. And so October 8th, about 2 weeks from now, I think, Bakersfield College is hosting our documentary premiere. And there'll be 2 showings at 1 o'clock and at 4 o'clock. We hope that you can attend. In fact, I have tickets for all the supervisors. And if you can't, give them to somebody that you know loves music or wants to fundraise and be inspired by what happened with us. So I want to give these tickets to you.
Thank you very much.
And thank you for this time and for this honor. And Supervisor Maggard, if you want to come to that 1 o'clock performance, you could actually give this proclamation to us again in front of everybody that shows up. We're hoping to have good crowds. The documentary is wonderful. It really does tell our story. Thank you very much.
Let's take a picture. Congratulations, guys. Thank you. Thanks for doing something for our community.
Thank you, Supervisor Maggard. The next item on our agenda will be item number 4, and this is a proclamation to proclaim $2 a day living on almost nothing in America by Kathryn J. Edin and H. Luke Shaefer as the 2017 title for one book, One Bakersfield, One Kern. And Supervisor Couch will make this proclamation.
So moved. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Please cast your votes.
Motion is approved. All ayes.
Good morning. Good, how are you today? It's between us and Cal State. Is it between us and Cal State? Kern County Library and California State.
I was just wondering how this came about. I think it was all due to our budget situation that they chose, which is their staff and Cal State chose $2 a day as a book, for one book, One Bakersfield, One Kern. I'm going to read the proclamation and turn it over to Andy, our newly named librarian, and let her talk about this event, this book, and how we can all be involved in that. The proclamation reads, the Board of Supervisors, County of Kern, State of California, has officially proclaimed $2 a day, living on almost nothing in America by Kathryn J. Edin and H. Luke Shaefer as the 2017 read for One Book, One Bakersfield, One Kern. And this recognition has been entered into the official board minutes, signed by our Honorable Chairman, Zach Scrivener, and it's dated today, September 26th. Andy, would you please tell us a little bit about the book and the event?
Tallest and the shortest today.
Yeah, we can pull that down.
Good morning, Chairman Scrivener, members of the board. Read, think, talk, listen, and grow. Those are the active verbs that I think of every single fall when our community comes together through a shared reading experience of one common book known as the One Book Project. Beginning in 2002, the Kern County Library's One Book Project has been a successful community-wide reading initiative that provides a framework for encouraging our community to act as change agents by discussing local issues and possible solutions, all related to the themes of one book annually. The fall 2017 title is $2 a Day, Living on Almost Nothing in America, and it is an account of a kind of poverty so extreme and so often hidden that most Americans don't think it exists. The authors make a surprising discovery that the number of American families living on $2 per person per day has skyrocketed to 1.5 million American households, including 3 million children. Not just a powerful expose, $2 a day delivers a new evidence and new ideas to our national debate on income inequality. The central themes of this book are the cycle of low-wage jobs, food insecurity, generational poverty, and disadvantaged youth. With 73% of our school-age kids qualifying for free or reduced lunch in Kern County, we have a problem as a community, and we need to talk about it, what's working and what's not, and be brave enough to have those honest discussions focused on our local realities. Since 2010, the Kern County Library has partnered with CSUB in carrying out the One Book Project to address issues right in our backyard. Through the CSUB Runner Reading Program, every fall, 1,500 new freshmen participate in the One Book Project by reading the book and curriculum developed based from the professors. KCL convenes strategic community partners that have a stake in the book's themes each year and addresses low rates of educational attainment in the wider community by creating a public programming that offers informal educational opportunities for all ages from preschools to seniors. So universities and public libraries both serve as centers of community engagement, promoters of learning opportunities, and as conveners for local community-based action. We leverage partnerships to strengthen our communities by connecting residents to resources and services. The entire community would benefit from such a fruitful conversation and hopefully help shape life choices and change in our own community. So we have over 100 events this fall around the county, from gardening how-tos to panel discussions that Mr. Couch will be moderating at the Beale Library in October. I gave you guys the One Book flyer, so it has all of the events. You can find it on kerncountylibrary.org. So thank you for your time. Take a picture? Thank you.
Thank you, Supervisor Couch and Ms. Apple. Okay, the next item on our agenda, item number 5, is to proclaim October 7th through the 14th, 2017 as the 70th anniversary of Air Force Supersonic flight in Kern County, and Supervisor Gleason will make this presentation.
Motion on proclamation.
Second.
Please cast your votes.
Motion is approved. All ayes.
Mr. Chairman, Board of Supervisors, it's an honor and privilege to be here to proclaim October 7th to the 14th, 2017 as the 70th anniversary of Air Force Supersonic flight in Kern County, and the proclamation is entered in the official board minutes, signed by the Honorable Zach Scrivener. Thank you very much for the opportunity to be here. I know what you're all thinking. I know exactly what you're thinking. Why are we giving an award to a group that takes off from very long runways that aren't moving, land on runways that aren't moving, but somehow we got to honor them? Well, okay, so I'm with you, but we got to do this, so let's do it. This year celebrates the U.S. Air Force's 70th birthday. Coincidentally, Edwards Air Force Base celebrates its 70th anniversary of the first supersonic flight. In 1947, now retired Air Force Brigadier General Robert Gardinas was the pilot who flew the B-29 bomber, used as a launch aircraft that released the X-1 experimental rocket, in which Chuck Yeager, a captain at the time, Air Force captain, became the first man to fly faster than the speed of sound. To commemorate this milestone, on Friday, October 13th, 2017, a formation of 4 aircraft from Edwards Air Force Base is scheduled to fly over several cities, including Bakersfield, between noon and 1 o'clock. So it's Friday, October 13th, between noon and 1 o'clock, and you have a formation of 4 Air Force jets flying over this great city and other cities in Kern County. It's going to consist of an F-16 Fighting Falcon, okay, an F-15 Eagle, an F-22 Raptor, and the F-35 Lightning. Although the U.S. military purchased its first aircraft in 1909, the official birthday of the U.S. Air Force is September 18th, 1947. Prior to that, the U.S. Air Force did not exist as a separate and independent military service organization. It went through a series of designations to arrive at the Air Force in 1947. Kern County is home to many active duty and reserve Air Force personnel, Air Force veterans, families of Air Force veterans, as well as families of Air Force personnel serving throughout the globe. In all sincerity, you know, we're very proud to be host to Edwards Air Force Base and to host the greatest fighting Air Force the world has ever known. I have with me a Lieutenant Colonel Dave Hinker, along with Dick and Josh, who's, Dave, you going to speak to us?
Sure.
Would you please? Thank you. Appreciate it. This is yours.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
He smells real nice, Air Force.
I took my shower today. I guess first I'd like to say thank you, and on behalf of Brigadier General Shaefer, the commander of the 412th Test Wing, thank you. It's an honor and privilege to be here to represent over 70 years of airmen for the outstanding efforts that they've done. For example, at Edwards Air Force Base, we conduct test operations of weapon systems that allow service agencies such as the Navy to learn how to fly aircraft and land aircraft.
Yeah. I'm not saying a word. Talk to you later.
It's all right, it's all right.
Colonel.
Appreciate it. But again, I just want to say thank you, and that we hopefully will be able to continue this air dominance for the next 70+ years through your efforts and your support. Again, thank you.
Thank you, Colonel. Really appreciate it. Let's have this. Let's get a picture taken. You can hold on to that. Get in here. Picture's right over here.
Thank you, Supervisor Gleason. Next item on our agenda is item number 7, public presentations. This portion of the meeting is reserved for persons to address the board on any matter not on this agenda, but under the jurisdiction of the board. Board members may respond briefly to statements made or questions posed. They may ask a question for clarification, make a referral to staff for factual information, or request staff to report back to the board at a later meeting. So now I'll ask if there are any members of the audience who would like to make a public presentation. Okay, seeing none, I'll move on then to board member announcements or reports. Are there any announcements from board members? Okay, seeing none, I actually have a very sad announcement today. My predecessor on the Board of Supervisors, Don Mabin, passed away this morning. He was battling a very aggressive illness for a few months, and his daughter notified me this morning that he had passed away. So our thoughts and prayers to his wife Billy and his whole family. He was a great advocate for the 2nd District and served us well, and so we mourn his loss. Thank you. Okay, we'll move on then to item 13. This is an item under Employers Training Resource. This is Education and Workforce Development Presentation, Grimmway Academy, and Teresa Hitchcock from our County Administrative Office, who heads up ETR, will start us off here and make this presentation. Ms. Hitchcock, good morning.
Good morning, Chairman Scrivener, members of the board. On August 22nd, 2017, your board requested monthly presentations on efforts in Kern County to prepare our workforce to be competitive in a global economy. As you're aware, workforce development requires a long-term, sustained effort. Today's presentation will highlight innovative best practices in early childhood education. The value of early childhood education on future success of students cannot be overemphasized. Without this foundation, students are far less likely to be successful. In fact, according to a 2012 study released by the Annie E. Casey Foundation, 3rd graders who lack proficiency in reading are 4 times more likely to drop out of high school. In order to be successful in high school, children must have access to high-quality teaching and learning environments through 3rd grade. Today, Grimmway Academy is here to make a presentation about the success they are having in early childhood education and how they are working with the public high school system to ensure that students graduating from their academies have the opportunity to reach their full potential. At this time, I would like to introduce the presenter and also the president of Grimmway Academies, Paul Escala. And also with him today are R.J. Valentino, president of the Grimmway Education Foundation, and Romeo Agbalog with Kern Citizens for Sustainable Government. Paul?
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the Board of County Supervisors. Once again, my name is Paul Escala. I'm the Executive Director for Grimmway Schools and accompanied by my colleague and partner, R.J. Valentino, the President of the Grimm Family Education Foundation. It's a distinct honor to be with you this morning. Deeply appreciate the attention, the focus on workforce development and how we as a partner in that work, focusing our attention on education of youth in this county. K-8 schools are the foundation and the bedrock. All of us standing here and sitting here probably can think about and reflect on our experience as a young person, a teacher, a friend, our parents, and our extended family and community that helped us get here today. And it's that extended family and that community that is really what is at the cornerstone of our work in the communities of Arvin and now in Shaefer. So with that, I'd like to walk you through a brief presentation, talk a little bit about what we are doing in the county to really help create a catalytic event, a sustainable long-term emphasis and investment in education that we believe is going to provide for a compelling model to really reshape and help promote the kind of workforce sustainability and growth and economic growth in this great county and state of California. Wrong way. So, who are we? Grimmway Schools is a public charter school management organization founded last year, but our history goes back even further than that. In 2011, the first Grimmway Academy, again a public charter school authorized by the Kern County Office of Superintendent in Arvin, was opened to about 300 kinder through third graders in the city of Arvin, with one very specific mission: closing the achievement gap for students in Kern County by creating an environment for student excellence and well-being. Now that's a very lofty goal, very macro level. We're going to talk about really what that means. But even before the establishment of this school, the vision came from our founder, Barbara Grimm Marshall, co-owner of Grimmway Farms, who at the time was supporting and continues to support a college scholarship program for the hourly workers at Grimmway Farms, and discovered a troubling trend. Many of the applicants for this scholarship were not qualifying for admission to a four-year college. This was a consistent trend. And after doing some due diligence, recognized that many of these students were unprepared for the academic rigor and for the minimum admission standards for a four-year college education. So after a lot of due diligence and reflection and visiting many education leaders across the state and the United States, really decided to take a very bold step and a courageous step, and decided to form and establish a public charter school in the community of Arvin. And with that, formed the Grimm Family Education Foundation, which established the initial seed investment over the first 5 years for the formation of the school, supporting all of our administrative support services and facilities, with the goal of creating a sustainable institution that would be funded with state and federal funds, like any other public school, but also attract philanthropic investment from others who had a very similar mission. And now, 6 years later, we are on track to do that, and in fact have established a charter school management organization that is fully sustainable financially, sustainable with talent and management, overseeing a very successful model, and now have replicated that model in the community of Shaefer. Pardon me. Make sure that I get the right slide. Pardon me for a moment. If we can go to the, okay. So you're going to see a little bit of slides there. Yes, I'm sorry. Thank you. So our mission statement, closing the achievement gap. Sorry, that's my fault. Let's see if we can get us there. Yes. So fast forward to where we're at today. We've opened our second school in Shaefer with 440 students, K through 4, with the goal of going all the way to grades K through 8 by 2021. We've also attracted philanthropic investment from the Walton Family Foundation, Public Charter School Grant, Charter School Growth Fund, and New School Venture Fund with over $1.5 million in outside investment towards the growth and the advancement of our educational model. We serve 1,240 students on both of those campuses. Our student retention rate is 97%. Our average daily attendance last year was 96.7%, which is exceeding our local peers. And our state test results for 3rd and 8th grade in math and English language arts are 35 and 46% exceeding the grade levels for those grades. As we look towards our 7th and 8th graders, we're finding that those grade levels are exceeding their state and national peers in math and in English language arts. And over half of our 8th graders, our first 8th grade class that matriculated on to high school this year have qualified for a gifted and talented program. So we are very encouraged by the results that we are seeing from our graduates moving on to the local high schools, and are expecting to see even broader results from that effort. We have a strong emphasis in literacy. Every day, students participate in every grade level in 90 minutes of a literacy block. And this is all through the Success for All reading and writing program. It's a national standard program that focuses on early literacy as well as supporting students who are English language learners, which is over half of our student population. We're also emphasizing partnerships with other institutions, including higher education. In fact, this year we've launched a new partnership with the Loyola Marymount University Center for Math and Science Teaching to focus in on math and science instruction. We also have targeted instruction in our learning lab where we are blending learning with technology. We have a one-to-one program, so every student is assigned a Chromebook, and we are blending technology in a variety of pedagogies, including direct, project-based, and inquiry-based, and technology-based curriculums across all subject matter. Focusing on college readiness at the kindergarten level, we are very, very focused and intentional around college going, and not just any college, but four-year, top-tier universities. So what does that require? It requires being present with the knowledge base of how to navigate the college world, demystifying college, its expenses, and how to gain entry, the opportunities for students to explore a variety of different interests in college and beyond, particularly in those areas that have a relevance here in Kern County, agriculture, energy, aerospace, and beyond. We also go beyond just the students in emphasizing college-going culture with parents and take parents on college trips, and this happens every year, not just the students, but the parents as well. We are also extending this out to our alumni parents and our students and focusing in on college admissions process, as well as academic counseling at the high school level to ensure that those students have access to A through G courses to ensure that they are eligible for a CSU, UC, or a private four-year institution. But beyond the academics is really what is the core of our mission, which is health and wellness. We believe strongly that students cannot learn, cannot be active, will not ultimately succeed if they are not eating a nutritious meal every day. So with over 90% of our student body qualifying for free and reduced lunch, we are taking those dollars from the National School Lunch Program and leveraging those with really sound nutritional quality in our cafe. Every day, students have breakfast, lunch, and a snack. That breakfast and lunch is made from scratch every day from commodities that we receive from the USDA. We have salad bars. We teach students how to make a salad. We are running full tilt in our cafe, serving every student every day a healthy, well-balanced, nutritious meal, and running that program at a surplus. This is not something that is impossible to do, but when we focus in on health and wellness as being a critical core of academic success and healthy choices for children, we have created a model for a publicly funded lunch program that is well-balanced and nutritious and is not costing our organization more than the average school district. So we believe strongly that this model can be scaled and can be used across many, many school communities. And in fact, we see evidence of that already at the Panama Buena Vista School District, where salad bars have been introduced, and many of the same types of programs that we are running in our cafe and menus are now evident in that school district. We're proud of that. We're proud of what really being a charter school is about, which is helping to incubate ideas and influence change across the board. And we're in fact doing that not only in academics, but we're doing that in our lunch program. What we're finding is that our students are 60% more likely to make healthy food choices as a result of being a student at Grimmway Academy. And this is after several years of educating them around the importance of healthy eating. And that extends to their family as well, because we invite those families to come in and participate in family cooking programs and nutrition classes 6 times a year. Parent involvement, 98% of our parents are involved in parent-teacher conferences and volunteerism. That is something that is up to them, but they choose to be involved because we emphasize being a welcoming community. And we believe strongly that this work cannot be done alone. As a school of choice, parents opt in to participation in their child's educational experience. We invite families to come in and eat with their children. Parents are welcome, grandparents are welcome, aunts and uncles are welcome. As an extended member of the Grimmway Academy family, they are participating actively in their child's education. Our faculty participates in over 260 hours of professional development each year. Every Friday, they participate in 2 hours of professional development, focused in on looking and analyzing student data, best practices in their subject matter at grade level and subject, and also with external partners who are helping to coach and provide observation and feedback to our faculty. We also participate in the county's professional development program and have extended that opportunity out with other nationally recognized professional development institutions across the country. We have a dedicated teacher coach who is working with our faculty, many of them very new to the profession, to ensure that our faculty gets all the support that they need. Running after school programs, farmers markets on campus, health and wellness fairs, project-based learning for middle school students, and a full-fledged art and music program. The final piece that I want to share with you before we share a brief video, and again, appreciate your time this morning, is the opportunity now for us to link partnerships beyond the confines of our campuses. We're incredibly blessed to have been a catalyst. It's no surprise that presence in the community of Arvin, the city of Arvin has made an investment towards a public park adjacent to our campus. Bakersfield College recently announced the establishment of a satellite campus across the street from our academy, and just across that block is Arvin High School, which we've extended our hands with Bakersfield College to present an opportunity for our children, as well as those children coming from other elementary schools and middle schools in the communities of Arvin and Lamont, to participate in an early college program that would ensure that those children who qualify have an opportunity to earn 4-year college credit in high school and accumulate that credit to marginalize the time and cost of entry into college. This is not a new concept. We see this concept flourishing throughout the country, and we are proud to be a partner with the Kern High School District and the Community College District in ensuring that children have greater opportunities for access to a four-year college while they're in high school. So we're looking forward to seeing this as a catalyst towards workforce development and being a life cycle model for those children to come back and help lead those classrooms, lead these schools, lead their communities in the future. With that, I appreciate your time. We'll have a short video and then take any questions that you might have. Thank you.
Grimmway Academy opened in 2011. We now have grades kindergarten through 7th, and we'll offer 8th grade next year. The mission of the school is to close the achievement gap for students in the Arvin area. Grimmway Academy is a California public charter school. We don't charge tuition for our students. We're publicly funded. GA uses a unique educational model. We utilize a blended learning program, and we combine that with an emphasis on health and wellness.
The Edible Schoolyard here at Grimmway Academy is a garden classroom and a kitchen classroom. Out in the garden, they learn everything from planting the seeds, cultivating the soil, harvesting all the food that they've grown. They bring it into the kitchen classroom. We have a recipe of the day. We cook together, set the table, make it look really beautiful, and enjoy a meal as a little family.
Our Learning Lab is really a centerpiece of our program. In the Learning Lab, students have the opportunity to preview information that they'll see in classes, to review information that they have seen, and to work in small groups with our teaching assistants to get individualized attention.
This is the 5th year my children have attended this school. They've benefited from Grimmway Academy in many ways. They have so many different teachers that are friendly and approachable, and it helps them excel academically.
Kaylin enjoys the Edible Schoolyard. So the two components that she enjoys the most is digging outside in the garden area, harvesting and planting seeds. She gets the work at her own individualized level. She's making great leaps in her education here at Grimmway Academy.
My boys are benefiting from Grimmway Academy. The blended learning that they get is making them well-rounded in several areas: healthy eating and exercise and technology with the lab.
At Grimmway Academy, we're proud to be a California Distinguished School. We are one of the highest performing schools in the state of California.
We really put a huge emphasis on reading instruction. 58% of our students have grown a year or more in reading, so that means we test them at the beginning of the school year when they first start, and then we monitor their progress throughout the year. So we're able to compare beginning of the year test scores to end of the year test scores, and we can see how much growth the student has had through instruction over the school year.
At Grimmway Academy, we have a model that we know works for students and for families, and we're seeing the impact that it has in the community of Arvin. We want to replicate this model and bring it to the community of Shaefer to expand opportunities for children throughout Kern County.
The Kern Family Education Foundation has deep roots in Kern County. We're really committed to our community and to the students that we serve. Our founder and president, Barbara Grimm Marshall, is co-owner of Grimmway Farms, which is one of the largest employers in Kern County.
I believe in Grimmway Academy because we support students, we care for students, and we do everything that it takes to make sure that they're successful. At Grimmway Academy, we have 4 core beliefs. Every child can have a bright future, every teacher can be successful, every parent can be engaged, and every community can flourish.
One of the things we've learned as a charter school is that when you get a group of passionate educators together and you give them the tools and the resources, the professional development and the support that they need to be successful, that they can do amazing things for students and families.
Mr. Scala, first of all, that was a fantastic video and a great presentation. I mean, we had asked our staff, as you know, to bring back a monthly presentation where we can see successes that are happening in our community as far as education and workforce development, and you hit it out of the park. Thank you so much for the presentation. Ms. Hitchcock, thank you as well. And Supervisor Maggard, I can see is punched in. I'd like to make some comments. I do want to, we will go to the public, but I'll see, do you want to go to the public first? Okay.
Yes.
Well, are there any other members of the audience who would like to make any comments? Mr. Agblog, I see you coming forward. Good morning.
Good morning, honorable members of the board. Romeo Agblog, Kern Citizens for Sustainable Government. As you know, Kern Citizens for Sustainable Government stands for effective and efficient government, but as well educational programs. And I just want to acknowledge Grimmway Schools and their efforts because I think they hit the mark. And I also want to recognize Employer Sharing Resource, Teresa Hitchcock, because their partnership and collaboration as well, and their efforts to improve the workforce has also hit the mark as well. And thank you to your board for your vision and foresight in bringing the subject of education up for discussion on a monthly basis. So for that, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Agblog, and thank you for the partnership with Kern Citizens to bring this item forward to us. Supervisor Maggard, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Scala, I just wanted to congratulate you and tell you that I'd love to come visit.
Excellent.
To see the campus.
Love to have you.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I enjoyed that very much. I spent 6 years on a school board for the elementary district in which I grew up, and it was a much different place a long time ago when I was a child in those schools. With kids very similar to what the children you're reaching out to. And I concluded that there were 2 main ingredients to making kids successful. One was the number 1 determiner of student success was parental involvement. You have clearly dialed that in. I admire that. The second key to the success of those children, in my observation, was to birth in the mind of a child the ability to dream of a future that they've never seen anyone else experience. They think beyond their current life. I believe the arts are one way that it causes young people to aspire and contemplate things they haven't thought about before. You're doing that. I just really admire what you're doing. And I'd love to come see it and see how I can be helpful. And I just want to congratulate you on the great work you're doing.
Supervisor Maggard, we'd be honored, privileged to have all of you. Understanding your busy time and schedule, appreciate that support and would love to have you on our campus.
Thank you. Any other comments? Supervisor Perez.
Supervisor Maggard, I'll be happy to host you in my district at the school. So, thank you for your interest, Supervisor. It really is striking what you're doing. I remember visiting the campus a couple of years ago. And in each classroom I walked into, a small delegation of youngsters approached me. They were impeccably dressed, head high, and shook my hand, referred to me as Supervisor Perez. And I was really quite stricken by the nature of the high standards, high expectations. I think when we set them, kids tend to meet them. In particular when resources are available. So this is really exciting. It's incredible to watch it unfold. I've seen the edible garden. I've eaten from the edible garden. Please don't let Supervisor Macker do that. That's just for the supervisor for the district. Just kidding. It's incredible, and I appreciate your professionalism and your passion for education. I mean, we have discovered that we have the most incredible workforce here in Kern County, legitimately. Our loyalty factor, family-oriented and patriotic, duty-oriented, faith-oriented population is the best stock you could ask for. But we have obviously a long way to go in the skill set achievement and closing the gap, but we are so close. And with the geniuses like you and Teresa who are connecting the dots and the incredible investment of the Grimms, I feel very confident that we are well poised to move in a direction of absolute excellence in training our young people. So this is very exciting. Teresa, you are really on it and leading the charge in a way that's very exciting. It really represents a new chapter for us. And I'd be remiss if I didn't recognize Mr. Turnipseed in the back of the room, who harasses me with with the statistics on a regular basis and believes that we can do more. And I do as well. So thank you.
Well, let's turn those statistics around. I think we can do it. And I appreciate this board's support, by extension of your support today and in the future. I think that we can create more choice and more access to opportunities like this for all children here in this county.
Thank you. Any other comments from supervisors? Seeing none, we want to congratulate you on your success, and also R.J. Valentino, Barbara Grimm Marshall, the Grimm family, but also those parents and the students that are seeing such great success at your academy. Thank you so much for the presentation.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. There is no requested action, it's just here the presentation. And so once again, Ms. Hitchcock, thank you very much for your efforts. We'll move on then to item number 19. This is an item under the probation department. Request for sole source procurement of a laser tattoo removal machine and customer purchase agreement from Cynosure Inc. containing non-standard terms and conditions in an amount not to exceed $90,537. And we have with us T.R. Miracle. He is our Chief Probation Officer. Good morning, sir.
Morning, Chairman, members of the board. That's a tough act to follow, doing great things out there. I am here to request the board's approval to purchase a tattoo removal machine. This is for our Takeaway Tattoos program, which has been running successfully for many years. This allows offenders to remove tattoos, especially those gang-related or in conspicuous areas. Not only does this remove tattoos, but it really removes barriers for successful reintegration into our community. As I said, we've had a successful program with Takeaway Tattoos. From July 2015 to June 2017, we processed over 319 referrals and removed over 500 tattoos. This is all made possible because of volunteers of nurses and doctors, and the program is housed at Clinica Sierra Vista. Our current machines are no longer working, and that's why we're in need of this new machine. We've also secured AB $109 to purchase this machine. The company in which we want to buy it from is offering us $60,000 off the purchase of this machine. That's $40,000 in trade-ins and additional $20,000 off. There are some non-standard language in the contract. However, based on the success of the program, our need for this machine, and the savings of $60,000, I ask for the board's approval for this purchase.
Thank you, Mr. Miracle. I'll ask if there are any members of the audience that have any questions or comments. Okay, seeing none, return to the board. Supervisor Perez.
Thank you. Chief Miracle, this is very exciting. I am very grateful that this is a component that you continue to push as our probation chief. We really have a whole new chapter in criminal justice reform and also rehabilitation, and you've been at the helm. I'm very grateful to you. This is important. The tattoos, particularly on the face, the neck, that are exposed, are a source of incredible stress and anxiety for folks that are rebuilding and moving in a new direction in their life. I know this from personal experience, and I see it extensively on a regular basis. This is so important to increase confidence, the ability to get out and take risks and change one's life. So I really appreciate it, Chief. Thank you. Anything I can do personally to move this along, you know my phone number. So thank you, and I would make a motion to approve, and keep up the good work.
Thank you, Supervisor.
You have a motion and a second. Please cast your votes.
Motion is approved, all ayes.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Okay, our final item on our agenda this morning is item number 32 under Veterans Service Department. This is proposed resolution to install approximately 14 signs along specific state highways at existing Kern County lines stating where we honor veterans. And Dick Taylor is our director of our Veteran Services Department, so when he's ready, we'll ask him to start us off on this item.
Good morning, board members. Dick Taylor, your County Veteran Service Officer, and pleasure to be before you today. We're requesting your board approve a resolution to install signs on various roads throughout the county where and you can see it up on the screen there, and Josh is holding a mock-up of this sign. And it would, and anybody coming into the county, whether it be somebody just passing through or our own citizens coming in, there's already existing signs in most of these places where they come into our county, but we wanted to present this before your board, and it's a requirement that each member or each county approve it. I want to give you a quick history, and I'm joined today from your right to left by Josh Danins, our Veteran Service Manager from our department, Kahana Gonzalez, our Administrative Coordinator, Adam Alvidrez with Chevron, Robin Fleming with Chevron, and also Pat Ebel with Kern County Roads. And I want to give you a brief history on this. So shortly after I was appointed to the position I currently have, we looked at the possibility of forming a nonprofit organization. Me and some other members of the civilian community and the veteran community wanted to form a nonprofit. And one mission of this nonprofit would be to help out in the area of veterans assistance and also the Kern County Veteran Service Department. And since we have developed a culture in our department of seeking public-private partnerships, and part of that comes from my continually harping with our staff because of my background, that there are things that are possible that many times people hadn't thought of before in terms of partnering up, partnering up with community members. So fast forward to today, some months ago, we, in doing some research, we discovered, our department discovered that there was an existing opportunity at the state level that each county has the option of installing these signs as long as they pay for it and as long as the state doesn't have to pay for it. And so being the situation where a staff working for you that we knew that we were going to come to your board and say, hey, we need some money because we're all trying to be frugal with the money we spend and the taxpayers' money, and we take that very seriously. So we looked at what was required. We have now formed a partnership with County Roads, and I approached Pat Ebel, and Pat and I have known each other for a number of years. And Pat is another one of those people that instead of saying, hey, I would like to, and when I say bring a problem to her, and she say, well, here's all the reasons we can't do it, she'll say, we can do it if you do this and this. And so with those marching orders, we contacted Caltrans, and Caltrans is going to partner with us on these. And then going back to the Patriots of Kern, and the reason I drug Adam and Robin up here, because I'm very proud of it, is they've been one of the major contributors. As you well know, Chevron is very supportive of the veteran community, and it goes from our Kern Patriot Partnership, of which they're the main sponsor of that incredible program to connect veterans with employers, but they also are a contributor to the Patriots of Kern, and that's our nonprofit. So the Patriots of Kern will pay the entire cost of these signs, And this mock-up right here, and I want to also give credit to the Kern County Board of Trade, because Lauren Knowles, who can make anything, and we want to keep him away from any counterfeiting machines, because he could make he could do that. So I am convinced now that Lauren, given some minor direction and some leeway, he will make anything, and he can create anything. And so a few days ago I said, hey, amongst the other 500 things you're doing, can you do this? So he created this mock-up. Now this mock-up sign is 37 inches long. The smallest sign that'll go out on these 14 or so highways is 60 inches wide. So this is just a small version of what's going to go out there. And of course, the real version is Caltrans approved, meaning it's got the proper reflectivity so that at nighttime when the lights go on it, it shines, and same thing with the white. So, and also the big version for some of the large highways is 90 inches wide. So when you're cruising along, people are doing 80 plus on I-5, they can see it. So initially, our plan was just to add the words, any small, like 8-inch tall or 10-inch tall sign underneath the existing signs that are already out there, where we just say, where we honor veterans. So in talking with Caltrans and talking with County Roads, and also I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge our road commissioner, Craig Pope, was very excited about this and was interested. So I approached the board of Patriots Kern, and I'm proud to say that I serve on that board of directors, and said, instead of just having kind of a new sign under an old sign that's faded and beat up or whatever, how about we get all new signs? And we'll do that, and we'll provide them to County Roads and Caltrans, and they'll be installed by county and Caltrans crews just during their regular maintenance. So it's going to take a while. So then all just going to go out there with red lights and siren on to put them on. But while they're in the area, they'll unbolt those, put the new ones on. And Caltrans has been Nicholas Escobar up in Fresno, has been a very fun partner to work with. And he's running around with his hair on fire today doing other things with Caltrans, and he would love to be here. But he sends his best wishes. But with that, again, we're happy to bring this before a board, and it goes along. And I was thinking about Supervisor Mabin. Supervisor Mabin, it was a sad thing to hear. Supervisor Mabin was a fellow Marine, and I know that Supervisor Mabin would be proud to see something like this, because I haven't looked at this specifically, and I just realized this, but I'm pretty sure these signs are going to be in like every district, because like when you have I-5, 99, 14, 58, 46, 65, a bunch of ones, and there's going to be about 14 of them. Anyway, I was thinking about that. I was thinking about Lieutenant Colonel Hinker from Edwards, second largest Air Force base in the United States, and we got it right here, and these people are going to be driving in and seeing it. We're going to be right out there, and just how proud we are to serve this veteran community, and how proud we are to be in a county like ours that has a supportive board. And I've told you this before, and I'll repeat it again now, and then I'll be quiet. I have counterparts in other counties throughout the state, and they are continually jealous of our relationship with our Board of Supervisors, because many of them don't have a supportive Board of Supervisors. And I'm not just talking monetarily. I'm talking, because that's certainly a necessity, but I'm talking about just supporting. I mean, just being encouraging and being genuine that you support veterans. And we have huge connections of all of us here that in some capacity to veterans. So with that, again, I wanted to thank Chevron publicly for this, because it's a big dang deal. And without their support of the Patriots of Kern, this wouldn't have been possible. And that way, taxpayers aren't going to foot the bill for this. So did anybody else want to add anything? Okay. Well, with that, we're open for questions, and we're happy to either answer questions or clarify anything.
Thank you, excuse me. Thank you, Ms. Taylor. I'll ask if there are any members of the audience who would like to make any comments or ask any questions. Okay, seeing none, I'll return to the board. Supervisor Gleason.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Another great example of our Veteran Services Department taking words and transforming them into action, and to represent the best values that Kern County can possibly aspire to. Thank you to Chevron. Thank you for the Roads Department. Pat, you're outstanding. Thank you very much for all you do. And it couldn't come at a better time. It's a really good deal. It's what'd you say, a dang nab, great deal? What'd you call it?
A big dang deal?
It's a big dang deal, and it's a perfect dang time for us to take a minute and always reflect on the contributions of so many great Americans, and that we take time here in Kern County to honor their service and their sacrifice. So I'll make a motion on staff's recommendation.
Second.
You have a motion and a second. Please cast your votes.
Thank you. The motion is approved. All ayes.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Thank you, Mr. Taylor. Fantastic job. Thank you, Chevron and Roads Department.
And I want to say one final thing, and Mr. Alsop would probably be mortified if he knew I was going to say this, but we were originally going to run this through not run it through, we were going to present it. Great. We were going to present this on, and also, Madam Clerk, on consent. And Mr. Alsop and Madam Clerk, Ms. Kraus, both said, hey, this is really nice. I mean, this is kind of a cool thing that you ought to let the board be able to see.
It's a big
in
dang
public.
deal.
Right. So again, thank you very much, Mr. Alsop, Kathy. Thank you for your direction on this, and we'll look forward. And then as these get up, you'll start seeing them pop up. We'll come back to you when the project's complete. Thank you again.
Thank you. Okay, that brings us to the conclusion of our agenda this morning. We do have one item to consider in closed session under County Administrative Office, item 33, and so I'll entertain a motion to adjourn to closed session.
So moved.
We are adjourned.